welcome to this Mark's Reviews and Tutorials video. Exciting day today. We've shown you before these vines and their amazing growth, and what we're going to do now is actually put some cables up and over the top. Now there's a link here for the video about the vines, and I'll put another one up the top here about how we fortified. This is just a thin strip of metal on the side of the house here. We've got a piece of timber behind it, so there's another video. Have a look up there to see how we did that. And today we're going to drill into there, put in some hooks, and then run cables across. So that we're going to have that natural, this vine, this is a star jasmine, we're going to have it running across and creating a natural shady roof type area across here. We're going to do it just with 4 cables coming off. These are on wires, as you can see here, on bits of mesh, and there's going to be one more past that to extend it out a bit, so we'll put 4 cables up. So to start with, we have just marked out here on the bricks. You see here we've got an X marks the spot that's right in the middle of the wire, and at the height we want, we're lining it up for looks just with the top of the gutter. And there's another one over here, so we're going to get those two in. You can see these vines, they're amazing how they've actually all twisted together to make, they're not strong enough to stand up by themselves, but they've all twisted together like that in order to keep on going vertical up past the wire. So we'll put a cable on here, and then we'll be twisting these around the cable and sending them. To start with, we're going to use a hammer drill and drill these holes. I'm using a smaller drill to start with, going into the brick. Because I want strength, I'm going into the brick, not the mortar. It's much stronger to go into the brick. Start with a little drill, and then pilot. This will be the pilot drill, and then go the full size with the one that I actually want for the green plugs. Again, there's another video, have a look at the link in the top corner about how to attach things, and I'll show you about the green plugs. So as I'm starting this off, if you go full hammer and press in, it's just going to go all over the place. You can get something, give it a bang like a nail to try and give it a dip. But I find if you start the drill and then while it's running down, hold it where you want it to go. Again, that's why I've got such a big cross, so I can see it. And then once it's centered, you can drill it in. Okay, so we've drilled the 2 pilot holes up there, and now I've got the full size. This is the right size for these green plugs, and the guy tells me that the green plugs are what we use. This is what we're going to put in to hold the wire, but these green plugs normally have a screw that size, and that's quite a bit bigger, so we'll see. I suppose it'll go in just very, very tight, but we'll see how we go. So this is the right size for the green plugs. We'll drill out the pilot hole now to this size, and then we'll put these in. Put these green plugs in. Have a look back at that link about different wall plugs if you want to have a look at that. I've drilled it out with a 6.5mm drill. That's the right size for a green plug. So we'll tap them in, and then we'll screw in the fittings. So the green plug, although I've done this 100 times before, different materials, particularly different concretes and bricks and things, can respond in different ways. And the hole's a bit too big, so I'm not going to panic. Just put a little bit of electrician's tape onto this. That'll bind it at the start, and then when you screw it in, that'll become part of the thing that gets compressed and holds it into place. So just put a bit of electrician's tape on, and I'll put links to, you know, different wall screws, electrician's tape, tools, and all the rest. I'll put links in the description for all of that. Okay, so just a little bit of tape in to make it tight, and then we'll tap it in. It's actually going to pop off. Now that means I've put too much on there, but it's come in nice and tight, so I'll just get a knife and trim that off, and then screw into it. This is the pin that's going to hold the cable up. It goes through the eyelet and doubles back on itself. To put it in, I'm just going to get a screw. It's got a nice little head, and I was going to look for a screwdriver too, but we'll see how we go with this, just so that I can get a bit of leverage on it to give it a turn and screw it in. I can do it with a screw. I'm also though going to see if I've got a screwdriver with the right size shaft to give me a handle to see if I can turn it. Here we go. There's a screwdriver that's the right size, so I'll slip that in, then I'll be able to turn it and get a bit of leverage on it. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to start that off by hand. Get it in. Yeah, it's binding up nicely. And then straight away, that's as far as we're going by hand. And then put the screwdriver on. So I've got to get a balance between the plug binding on the bricks. Whoops. And screwing in. There we go. That's going up beautiful and tight. and it's going to be super strong. Wonderful. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we want to put the other pin that the other wire is going to be in. So we want it to run square with the house, so I'm going to measure the distance from here to this pin, and then that'll be how far we take it on the other side. I'm measuring out from the plinth again for the second. Here's the first, and I'm using one of the lines that are in this. I've got a board in behind, as I said, have a look at that link. So I know where I want to be, and I'm going to mark that. So we drill in exactly the right spot, which will line us all up parallel. So using this line here for the height, so all four will be consistent, and measuring out from there, so they'll all be running parallel to the house. When I did the boards, I also marked the gutter. So up here, you'll see that squiggly line. That's where the board is, and it lines up perfectly with that mark. So my wonderful son has drilled this, and you'll see we've put the hole on a bit of an angle. You see that? We're going to have it pointing down just a little bit because the cable is running up just a little bit. So rather than pulling straight on the thread, that'll actually pull it on a bit of an angle. I'll show you what I mean with the pin, and that makes it stronger. That's the first hole, which is a pilot hole. Then we'll drill one the right size. Then we'll screw the next two pins in. The pin, when it screws into the fascia, if you go straight and then it pulls straight, it's just pulling on those threads. But if you put it on a bit of an angle, or in this case, put it on a bit of an angle pointing down, and then pull up a little bit, you see, rather than just pulling straight out, it sort of bends into the wood and into the hole, and it just makes it stronger and much less likely to pull out. So that little bit of an angle upwards with the drill hole and a little bit of an angle up with the cable means instead of pulling straight like that, it pulls on a bit of an angle, much, much stronger. Just a little tip like that. Okay, so this is the screw. We're drilling into the tin and the wood now up on the edge, and we need to get the right size drill for this. Now you don't want the same size like that because there'll be nothing for it to bite into or screw into, and even that's not enough. That one, I'm actually going to run with that one there so that there's plenty for it to bite into and grab onto with the wood. So that there is the size I'm going to drill the wood with. Put a nail through the eye here and just screw it in. This one's going into the timber. And you can see it's nice and tight, it's binding in, so it's going to be wonderful and strong. Just screw it up until the thread disappears. You know, she's all great and nice and strong. Okay, you've gotten through this far, well done. Just have a look at the end screen that's about to pop up. It's probably popped up now, and go on to the next video for actually stringing the wire on.